I think we've all heard of making complicated redstone simpler. I mean, that seems like a really good idea to me. In fact, I would say that I've based my entire YouTube channel on doing exactly that. But what if we were to do the opposite? What if we were to take a ridiculously simple redstone contraption and make it as complicated as we possibly can? I think we could end up with some fairly hilarious results. So let's boot up a new Minecraft world and take a look at what we can do. Redstone dust there, redstone dust there, redstone dust there and there, repeater and a repeater, and there we go. 2x2 piston door. This thing is like the staple of most redstone builds. I'm sure anyone who has fiddled with redstone before has probably constructed one of these, so I think we should... yeah, we're going to remove all of this. And we're going to try our hand at some TNT-based piston doors. Yeah, this could be a strange one. So the heart of this redstone build is going to be a cobblestone generator. So I believe we need 2 bits of water on this side and 2 bits of lava on this side. And hopefully they should flow across. And yes, we have got ourselves some cobblestone. So obviously that is what is going to be regenerating our piston door. Right, now down at the bottom... we are going to add in a few extra circuits, so that there is a monostable circuit. And then I guess we should probably create some form of redstone clock. So I'm going to say hopper clock, just going back and forth like this. And we're going to place an item. And it seems a tiny bit too fast, but that's a very good start. So let's try out 3 hoppers. That seems even worse. Okay, now we're getting a rhythm. Alright, now I have measured this thing out so that hopefully it should reach the block push limit when it is 12 blocks tall. So there we go. There is our piston door. Alright, and when we break the blocks, which the TNT should hopefully do, it will regenerate and close up behind us. Fantastic! Alright, okay. Now let's start work on the TNT and also the button mechanism. So the idea is when we hit this button up at the top here, it should shut off the redstone clock for a decent length of time, allowing us to actually walk through the door, and then eventually the pulse extender down at the bottom will switch off, allowing the redstone clock to kick back into action. And there we go. Everything's happened and our door has regenerated. So here comes test number 1. We have got a little setup. We've got TNT dispensers up at the top. We hit the button and... oh no! No! Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Not the best of starts, but there we go, the door's coming back. It kind of works, it's just... we have very much dismantled the area around the door as well. This time we have a slightly smarter design, so hopefully, fingers crossed, everything functions perfectly fine. So the TNT is there, it explodes, and it's only done the top 2 blocks. I feel like I could do with actually dropping down these things a little bit further. So, our cobblestone generators are now slightly lower in the ground, and I'm just adding in some extra damaged protection to stop all of the earth being dismantled as we open up our piston door. But when we hit the button, now we should see a fully functioning system. TNT explodes, and that is perfect. It's perfect! How good is that? And then eventually... there we go. This might just be my new favourite piston door. TNT. That's amazing. That's seriously cool. Right, let's move on from this one and take a look at potentially some form of hidden input device. So the plan is simple. We place in the lever and we give it a flick. That activates the mechanism. And what it will also do is activate a system that should hopefully pop up and break the lever. Now that is going to be a little bit of a challenge because of this, but let's just see if we can manage to do it. So we push these 2 up like this, and that will push it up to there, and then it should just extend, and then we can have just a standard double piston extender. So we flick this lever, and then... Ooh. Okay, this could be a little bit more challenging. New setup. So I flick the lever, and then this piston right here will retract. These two pistons will extend, then this piston will extend, breaking the lever, which will cause the entire thing to kind of reverse itself. So then we'll get this action, and then that. There we go. So that is going to be the full system. Now I just need to work out the wiring for that. Thinking back, I'm fairly certain these things are called useless machines, and I'm fairly certain I've actually designed one way back in the early days of my YouTube channel, but it was slightly different. I think it was like a fancier design, and it came down from the ceiling. I remember it! Right, well, I guess I should probably do a proper one now. So, I have about 90% of the circuitry done. You can see we have the hideaway mechanism, and we also have the pop-out mechanism as well. The only thing that we don't have is the actual extension of the piston, and I think the way that I'm going to do that is by using an observer block. So we're just going to run this out like this, and we essentially need to make sure that it fires once this thing is extended. So I guess that means that we're going to need 4 ticks. In fact, we're going to need a few more than that. So we're going to need 4 ticks, 5 ticks, 6 ticks more than likely. And that will run out into this redstone line right here. So we'll have another repeater there, redstone dust there, and then that will extend out our piston. There it was! That was it! How cool is that? We managed to make it! Flick the lever. There we go! What an awesome hidden entrance that is! I like it. I like it a lot. Obviously, the redstone circuitry could do with a little bit of improvement, and this thing definitely isn't the smallest design, but that's cool. I think, yeah, we could definitely make this smaller. I might work on that. I might work on that a little bit in the near future. So this right here is my old hidden crafting bench circuit. You can see it still works like a charm. I designed this thing in probably, it must have been 2012. I mean, seriously ages ago. But it still functions, and it works like a charm, but it could definitely be made a lot more complicated. And, well, I'm a big fan of piston feed tapes, and I feel like piston feed tapes can make any redstone contraption better, so let's start constructing. I'm starting to think that maybe I might just be a professional piston feed tape maker, because this thing right here is now all completed. So let's run ourselves a monostable input into the back of this one, and we should see a consistent firing order. So yep, that's looking pretty good to me. Right, okay, I'm going to place in all the blocks. So this one here is firing first, which means that the block needs to go there, which means that this goes up like this, and then the block will be up on that side. So we'll have this as our piston feed tape. Now, as I've just proclaimed myself as a piston feed tape expert, it'll be very embarrassing if this doesn't actually work, which of course it hasn't. Oh no. Complete redesign was required. I worked out that unfortunately, for my design to work effectively, I needed to have a sticky piston in the center of the piston feed tape, which wouldn't have been possible with my too wide feed tape that I had beforehand. So now this thing should extend out, and then we should just be able to add in a few extra blocks right here, some redstone and a repeater, and then as long as the input reaches this piston first, it should retract that block, cycle all of the blocks, and then re-extend it. That happened very fast, but it seems to be functioning. Okay, right. That's a good thing. Now we have to try and work out how on earth we are going to cycle this through to create a hidden crafting bench system. So this piston feed tape has 14 blocks in it, which means that we need it to cycle 7 times for it to go halfway round, which means that on one edge, we can then hide away the crafting bench, and then the next time we hit the button, it will then make the crafting bench appear, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I think the way that I'm going to do that is I am going to try my best to use a pulse extender. So we've got an item inside this hopper right here. We hit the button, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, right. Let's increase the size of this one. So something a little bit like this. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7! We managed to do it straight away! So I think we may need to add in a bit of a pulse extender up on this one as well. In fact, we definitely will need to add in a bit of a pulse extender up on this one as well. But this one actually has to be a bigger pulse extender. We should have ourselves a fully working system again. We're doing really, really well in today's video. So comparator, 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 comparator. And then redstone on both sides. And then I guess we should run this redstone up here. And that right there can be our input for the time being. So we should see the retraction, which we're actually going to make this a crafting bench. We should see the retraction of the crafting bench, and then it cycle through 7 times. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't place in the block, did I? And it's pretty good that I didn't, because this thing totally wouldn't have worked. Right, take 2. Let's see if we can make this thing function. We hit the button. I still didn't place in the block. Take 3 this time, it is going to work. I can feel it in my bones. Right, we hit the button. That's looking pretty good. Apart from that. Oh, that's something I didn't think of. After a lot of redstone designing and a lot of head scratching, I have worked out how to do it. So we've got a T flip-flop that hooks into this pulse extender right here, which then should create a fully working system. So our crafting bench gets extended out. Awesome. Okay, so this, say for example, is our little room. These are the walls. Everything's made out of glass, apparently. And then when we hit the button, our little crafting bench should be retracted away and should move up the wall. And then the wall will stay flat. So there we go. We have got ourselves a working system. We hit the button and everything shuffles around, and then crafting bench. And then when we hit the button once again, everything shuffles around once more, and we get ourselves a fully functioning system. Now, I have to say, I was not expecting this thing to be quite as complicated as it was, but it works. It works really nicely, and I'm chuffed to bits with it. And I just want to say, if you have enjoyed this little video right here, this was just a really silly concept that I came up with off the top of my head, and then came up with a few different designs for it. If you would like to see more of this thing, please let me know down in the comment section. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.